Hello, my fellow fanfiction readers. It is I, Dark Symphony 777, with another fanfiction review. First up, I like to say I'm back. Wi-Fi's back. Thank God. So, and as always, a link to the story will be in the description. Please like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more fanfiction reviews, and leave a comment in the comment section below on your thoughts of the story, as well as any ideas for future fanfictions, readings, or reviews. So, I figured, not only since I'm going to do this review, I'm going to do the video later to honor something that one of my subscribers actually mentioned and suggested I should do. But this is the big one. I am a big fan of Castlevania, so I've been overlooking this Castlevania fanfiction for so long. Why is this unscrewed itself? And the story is Melancholia. I think I butchered that pronunciation. Melancholia. It's written by Lady Armister. It's a angst. It doesn't. Angst. It's an angst romance story. I don't know. Angst. I see the angst in it, but it's more of a pure drama than an angst story. I also see hints of tragedy in there. Yeah, that's fine. It's a story based off Castlevania Lament of Innocence. And before I get into the actual review, I have to at least do a little tell everyone a little information about Lament of Innocence. So, what is Castlevania Lament of Innocence? Castlevania thing, LOI. Lament of Innocence is a PS2 game from 2002 made by Konami. It's chronicling the first Belmont to stop Walter. I'm wording this wrong. Bear with me. It chronologies the story of how the Belmonts went to wage war against Dracula, and how Dracula came to be, and how the vampire killer is. It does a lot of stuff that fills in the gaps of how the Belmont clan start fighting Dracula. One of the characters that was introduced was a character named Joachim Armster. I keep saying Armister because I keep seeing that name. It's Armster, but I keep unneedingly added an E to it, so if I keep saying Armister, even unintentionally, so just bear with me of that. And he was a vampire who hated Walter, but there was no background on this guy. Walter, the main villain of this game, had at least some backstory. He was basically just, I'm a bombastic vampire, and I live in eternal night, and I am immortal, and then death shows up and kills him anyway. Despite claiming he's immortal and he can't die. Bitch, death shows up and kills you. I actually love that little moment from the game. But this story is kind of a backstory to Joachim. And Joachim was this big enigma. Like, nobody knows who he was. He just completely shows the fuck out of nowhere. As one of the bosses in the game. And it's like, what the hell? Who is this? But everyone liked him. I kind of liked him. I liked his design. I liked his boss battle. I think, personally, I actually like the Walter fight more, but I think Joachim was a really good boss. And this story is kind of telling the story how he came to be in the game and stuff after that. So let's get started. The plot is basically, well, again, I heard you just mention it. Joachim's journey to join Walter, and then eventually leading into the events of Lament of Innocence. He was a lord of a small town in Europe. No, not Romania, like most of the Castlevania game takes place, but Europe. And he was a nobleman, and he was a pale. He had albinism, but he was chronically ill. So of course, accounting for the white hair and stuff like that. And he was a swordsman. He had a father who didn't really like him because it's like, oh, you're nothing but a failure because you can't fight. Because he was part of the church. And back then, I believe the game took place in like 1072. I'm not 100% sure on the year. Somewhere around there. So, of course, a lot of the churches was like, kill these people in the name of God. Very well. Kill these people in the name of God, but they didn't do anything. They don't like God, but do you like God? Yes, we like God. But they said they like God. They're not with us. Kill them anyway. But kill them. Kill the heathens. That's pretty. You can pretty much sum that up in that little joke right there. And so he had a couple people who Side Quarter liked him, and one person he really liked. They kind of fell in love with not. Kind of, sort of, because, they didn't want to hurt each other because Jokheim, when he was human, he was afraid of, he was perpetually on the deathbed. And so, at the beginning, this guy named Walter shows up because, basically, it goes one of two ways with Walter. One, you either haven't played Lament of Innocence and you're like, who the hell is this? What the hell's going on? Why does Walter seem like he wants to have gay sex with Jokheim? However, if you play Lament of Innocence, you're just like, Walter, I'm watching you. Because Walter is a vampire, so of course you know that. But Walter's plan is to basically have Jokheim kind of betray everyone by murdering people, and then slowly get the blame on him because of the simple fact he's albino, he has white hair, he has very pale skin, so people are automatically going to assume a vampire, so and get everyone's paranoia up, and have everyone slowly abandon him, including his girlfriend, who he even had sex with, and then he proceeds to bite Jokheim, turn him into a vampire. Act 2 actually has Jokheim getting used to Walter's behavior, Walter's castle, while he's trying to rebel against him. There is a lot of yaoi sex scenes in Act 2. A lot. Okay, I read, before you say anything, no, I'm not homophobic or anything. I mean, people seem to say, like, oh, you don't read gay stories, you're homophobic. You don't say hi to gays, you're homophobic. It's like, there's a lot of people nowadays that are like really crazy who blame everything on sexism or racism and homophobia and stuff like that, and it's like why my oldest friend, who I'm actually going to talk to later today, hopefully, is bi, so it's like I have nothing against homosexuals. My oldest friend's bi, so I don't really give a fuck. But don't try and force your opinions on me. I'll take your opinions in consideration, and then either I will agree with you, or I would throw them out the window. But, I'm getting off topic. Sorry about that. Act 2 is basically Jokheim trying to learn how to be a vampire, and slowly, and then they kind of get a relationship of like a master servant. Was like Walter's like crazy, while Jokheim's slowly trying to learn his powers and rebel against him. And then the guy named Matthias Conquerse comes up. If you don't know the lore, Matthew Conquerse actually eventually becomes Dracula by using the Crimson Stone to control death, to kill Walter and basically get the Ebony Stone that he has. And Jokheim's like, I'm bullshit, and they both go and kill people, they both murder, and then Matthias shows up and tells him that I have a worthy opponent for you. His name is Leon Belmont, and that happens. And then he murders all the people in his town because he revealed that even all his friends, except for the girl that he loved, basically just used him for his title, which is dick move. And then, and over the course of the story, Jokheim is slowly losing his memory, slowly losing who he is. So it's a fascinating journey into the man's psyche. It's very creative, and Act 3 has the elements of Lord Lament of Innocence, with introducing Sarah Trantoul, and then eventually introducing Leon Belmont, and then they fought, and then Jokheim's rebel. Leon, defeats Jokheim, but he doesn't die, and then, he's still alive. Somehow because he does. At the time when they fight, he can't kill him. And then Jokan survives, and then actually follows Leon around. Follows him around, and then they come back. Leon comes back to the castle, and Jokan says like, "I followed you because I wanted to kill you, but then you fascinated me." He kind of almost could count him as a friend. And the story ends with Leon promising to do this blood oath to put him in eternal sleep, and Jokan going to sleep, trying to hope that the dreams of the girl he loved come back. And oh my god, I'm actually crying again. Sorry, that ending. And overall, I actually really like the plot. The plot is actually pretty amazing. Actually, it clears up a lot of ink. It clears up a lot of backstory, and it's really believable. This is actually something that Konami can actually use. Well, except maybe the Yao, because who knows. As an official backstory for Jokan, this is actually this is almost official canon worthy. And it's a real interesting mind of how a vampire works. I like the whole idea that, as vampires go along, they slowly lose their memories of human, and then they become slowly lose their humanity and stuff like that. That's actually a really nice touch. Another nice touch was at the end when Leon runs into a girl named Sonya. If you don't know the Castlevania lore, there was a game called Castlevania Legends, I believe, that was basically a chronicalized of the first Belmont named Sonya. Except she was rendered non-canon because, according to the director of that game, women at the time were not exactly warriors, which is kind of true unless you count Jonah Arcadia. But then again, she had to dress up like a dude to even do anything. Beside the point. And so a lot of people have been kind of wanting, put Sonya back in the game, put her back in the lore, or do something with her, put her back somehow in the lore. And so I thought the compromise, that little Easter egg is like, is that Sonya? That's Sonya. I got that. Was a nice touch. Character development. Jokan I really loved the character development of Jokan here. Everything about him, from losing his humanity to wanting to constantly still have some semblance to the evolution of Jokan from the beginning from lord of, on his deathbed, to at the end where he's just a pale shell of his vampire self, and he just wants to have some semblance of humanity left and remember his girlfriend Catherine from so long ago. Well, not really that long ago. 2 years be? Yeah, 2 years is kind of long. Vampires, not really. And he just wants to remember her. Walter is an unalterated asshat. I really did not like Walter. I thought Walter was a nice antagonist in the game, but here, oh my god, you took the smug douchiness level up to 11. Nice job, lady. All the other characters, there was the knight who turned out to be a douche. I kind of expected that from the beginning because he didn't seem like he gave two shits about his job. He just cared more about the drink and the women than anything else. Catherine, she was a nice character. I really like Catherine. I honestly wish, and this is not a slight against the author. This is not saying fix this, change this. I just wish I would have seen more of her. I really liked her character. It's just wishful thinking. Leon, despite the fact he has limited screen time, he makes an impact as well. Sarah was the one I'm most surprised about, simply because there is nothing really done with her in the story, so she was pretty much just a blank slate. Pretty much the only thing Sarah contributed to the story of the actual game was the fact that she became an object. No, literally. She literally became an object. She became the whip. She was the reason that the whip became the vampire killer, because her soul's in the whip. Her soul is literally in the whip. So in essence, she's kind of the big good of, like, Dracula's the big bad. She's the big good because she's the reason why Dracula keeps getting his ass whooped. Hey, I have a whip, so it has the soul of a ancient woman in it. Who? Leon's what? Girlfriend. No. I can almost see Dracula reacting to that with, like, almost hammy deliciousness. I'm sorry. I'm starting playing Symphony of the Night again. I really love that game. I can just picture Dracula freaking out over the fact his wife, the person, Leon's wife is in a whip. It's like, she's an object? Yes, literally. I'm getting off topic again. I need to stop that joke. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Once I go on a joke, I have to finish it. But in the story, this kind woman, Sarah's character in the story was this kind woman who saw through, Joe Kime's vampirism and said that he still wants to be human. He wants to die and he wants to be like human. And she was just a nice character that, again, just like Catherine, I wish I actually saw more of. Nothing against the author for that, but the author did what they had to do. And I'm just gonna say she because it's pretty obvious that Lady Armister is a chick. I'm pretty sure. She's a chick. Unless she corrects me. Yeah. So anyway, her character is nice. It's there, but it's a very valid improvement over the game. Grammar errors. It's not I saw one grammar error early in the story, and it's like, okay, that's just one grammar error, that's fine. And then we get to Act 3, where we saw a couple grammar errors. They're really just words kind of smushed together. He forgot he accidentally spaced the wrong words, or he didn't space the words. I mean, she didn't space the words. God dang it. I'm more used to saying male pronouns because all my friends are male. But literally all the fanfiction writers I talk to are female. That's, like, weird. Except maybe Tesuro's, like, the only one. There is one unintentionally hilarious grammar error. There's actually a misspelling. And instead of, I believe it was chapter 34. Let me see if I can find it. I believe it was chapter 34. No, it was one of the chapter. It was a chapter. I can't remember where the author was having I believe Sarah talk to Joe Kime, and she tells him, I said it was all humanity's doing, but instead of doing, she forgot the I, so it says humanity's dong. And I thought that was unintentionally hilarious. And I couldn't help but laugh. That almost that made me laugh almost as much as when I was playing Fortnite yesterday, and I was like driving up a ramp, and epic music started to play in the game. I was like, "Where is this music coming from?" And then all of a sudden, I get shot, and I literally hear a record scratch, and I was like, I couldn't help but laugh. It was hilarious. But I really like. Besides that, nothing really bad. Pacing and imagery. This is probably where I'm gonna say I don't like the aspect is the imagery. I get it, drama has a lot of flowery prose in it, so it's not that bad. The problem is the sex scenes. This is a rated M story, so of course there's gonna be sex scenes. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. And this is more just a personal problem rather than any like negative criticism against the story. Is I don't really like sex scenes in drama story. I think they take away from the story. I think that the flowery prose, and this is like really flowery, kind of detracts from the sex scene. And it's like when I think of a sex scene, I think of actually, and you're using like imagery to read it, and you're reading it in this prose is like really awkward to read because it's like, what am I reading? How? Because dramas do plot and they do characterization really well, and this story has it in spades, but for some reason every time when I read a sex scene in a drama story, it's always like super flowery. It's like, and I don't even realize what the hell am I reading, because, and even the first sex scene is like written so so flowery and so haphazardly. I thought they were more cuddling than actually having sex. So it's like, what the, are they cuddling? Are they having sex? What are they doing? Come on, what are they doing? Granted, I don't hate the sex scene because I feel they do kind of belong in the story, but on the other hand, I just don't like drama. I just don't like sex scenes in dramas in general. And an interesting fact about the story is this actually carries a lot of similarities between this and my favorite Castlevania of all time, Deluge. They're both drama stories. They both are technically trying to be canon. This story is kind of a prequel to Lament of Innocence, while Deluge is a sequel to Order of Ecclesia. They both have a homosexual relationship. This one has a yaoi. Deluge has a yuri. They both have very flowery prose. They both have sex scenes, which I don't like. I mean, and oh my god. The only difference is this one's complete in Deluge. I'm still waiting for the final update and the final revision of the story. I gotta read that again, but that story's gonna come soon because it's pretty much fall right now. But the pacing, I think the pacing is magnificent for dramas. Dramas above all, well, except for maybe horror and maybe mystery. Slow burning is key. If you have a fast drama, then it's like you're losing the whole impact of what makes a drama a drama. And I don't like it. And I actually read a comment over a slower story over someone actually asked, saying, I have ADD, can you, I don't like these slow burn story, can you please up? I said, not every story needs to be incredibly fast-paced, action-oriented, mystery-oriented, stuff like that. Some stories require a slower pace, a slow burn to, to build up everything, and then, slowly slope it up, and, constantly raise it till it reaches a climax, and then, you slope down immensely and level out. This story did that immensely. This story is Shakespearean in quality, in terms of the prose, in terms of the character development, in terms of how to do a drama well. And I really love the story. Now, where am I? Okay. Would I recommend it? Favorite part and final thoughts. Would I recommend it? If you're into a drama, then yeah, this story, 2 thumbs up. This story is immensely good. I don't know why I was waiting so long, because every time when I went to the Castlevania section, I always seem to unconsciously skip over this story because I don't know what the hell I was thinking. And then this is one of the stories I kind of read through forums and stuff like that, saying this is a good story, and I even saw it on the TV Tropes recommendation page for Castlevania FanFiction, but I always skipped it, and I finally got off on my ass and sat down and read it, and holy shit, this story was worth it. This story was worth everything. This is an immense drama, beautiful characterization, a beautiful plot, beautiful everything except for the grammar at the end. That's it. But we can't all be perfect. We can't. But if you're not a fan of slow burn stories, and this is a slow burn story, so appreciate the fact that it's a slow burn story. Don't bother the author saying, "Oh, this story's too slow, speed it up." No, the story needs to be slow. So yeah, 2 thumbs up. This story is amazing. Favorite part. I know I'm gonna be kind of a cheap guy saying this, but the final paragraph. Oh my god, that final paragraph put so much emotion and put so much stuff that I actually cried. I actually tried to do a recording before this, about literally before this video started, and I had to stop it because I actually started crying again, because that final paragraph at the end of Joe Kime going to his coffin one last time, and seeing its daylight, having him burn it, burn himself a little bit, relishing the fact he's going to go in eternal sleep. And finally imagining one last time of Catherine's face and hoping that she could help him even from beyond the grave, and the final words, "Good night, my love." That was so beautiful. I'm sorry, I'm crying again. It's stories like this that makes me love reading and fan fiction in general, is because they bring out the best of us. They bring out so much emotion, and this one paragraph, or couple of paragraphs, this last little section was so beautiful in and of itself that if it was worth it. I'm sorry, I'm crying again, but it is amazing. I mean, it's really worth reading this story for that final one, and I swear to God, if you're not crying from that last paragraph, then it's like you don't have no soul. Because it actually made me sympathize with Joe Kami's, like, a vampire who just wanted to be human. He hated being a vampire, and he just wanted nothing more to die and to see Catherine again. See Catherine one last time. And it was just so sad. It's like, what? I don't think it... I mean, yes. I mean, you can easily make the argument, say, you then have him die, have him go out to sunlight, but he doesn't know if... But I don't think having him die would have actually been a better ending. But I think either one, it could have went either or. I mean, you could have had him sleep and have him, try and remember Catherine one more time, or you could have had him die and him possibly go to hell or stuff like that for killing a bunch of people. But yeah, that was an amazing part of the story. Despite the fact it's literally the end of the story. And it's an amazing story. If there's anything I would have to fix, if there's anything I have to fix, just simply basically fix the grammar errors, and, scattered across that one in Act 1 and the ones in Act 3. Change angst to drama and then have the second genre be either angst, romance, or tragedy. Either this story has all elements of all four, but it's primarily a drama. I honestly think drama tragedy work better over angst and romance, because it does have a lot of tragedy elements more than romance elements. I mean, yeah, romance has a heavy factor in the story over a lot of Joe Keim's stuff and everything. Oh, and rework that first sex scene. It's just worded so weirdly. I have no idea if it's an actual sex scene or if they're just cuddling. Anyway, back to the genres. This is a pure drama story. Again, you can easily put like angst, romance, or tragedy. This story has elements of all four. I already said that. But again, dramedy is would work best. It has a lot of synergy with drama and tragedy because there's a lot of but you could easily just have the second genre be any of those three. You can easily interchange them if you want. Final thoughts. I love this story. And honestly, I kid you not, if it wasn't for Deluge existing, this would be my favorite Castlevania story. The wordplay, the plot, the characters, it's all magnificent. And it's worth it. If you're not a fan of drama, then you don't read it, then that's it. But I implore you, my fans, my fellow readers, read this story. It is, without a doubt, one of the best stories. Not fan fictions, one of the best stories I've ever read. In general, whether it's fan fiction or non-fiction or stuff like that, fiction, stuff like that. This is Shakespearean quality. I put the story on the level of Better Off Alone. I love Better Off Alone. It's still my favorite fan fiction. A story will not get any higher praise than I'm saying it's Better Off Alone quality. It is that good. And again, if it wasn't for Deluge, this would bar none be my favorite story. Castlevania. And Deluge, despite the fact Deluge has a lot of elements from this, they share a lot of elements. I just think Deluge tells a better story. That's pretty much it. I just think Deluge tells just a simply better plot and story. But this one, nothing to scoff at, nothing to laugh at. This is an amazing story. So, with that, it is that has been my review on Melancholia. Melancholia. I think I pronounced that one. So this has been Dark Symphony 777. And I'm back.